This production is brought to you by Cosmic Horror Monthly.
If anyone is out there, if anyone can hear us, this is your wake-up call. Greetings from Portalville, where the ocean views are entrapping and spirits stay with cheap rent. As my mom always said, every night you wake not craving human flesh is a night to be thankful for. And what a lovely twilight it is. Salutations to all. This is August Pot from the Audio Harmonization Transmitter, and what a show we have today.
You know, I noticed you forgot to introduce me, but I am her co-host, Guy Redshirt, and I'm happy to be here, folks.
Assistant.
You know, I'm kind of a co-host, really.
Guy, you get my donuts and wine and run errands.
And I see you are already drinking. It is the morning.
It looks like nighttime outside.
It's the morning. Let's just carry on, okay?
Anyways, I have a very exciting show planned for your listening pleasure in a short while, as we will be discussing Portalville's special Dark Saints Eve week celebration.
But first, I have a sponsor message from everyone's favorite supernatural deterrence supplier, Sinclair Industries, who urges you to stock up on temporal axe. The #1 dream inhibitor used by the citizens of Portalville is on sale during the Dark Saints Eve Festival Week. Without your nightly dose of temporal axe, your sweet dreams could turn into nightmares, which could literally come alive and eat your family.
Now, for top news around the island. At a press conference yesterday, Magistrate Renault issued a 9 p.m. curfew as more property around the island is being found vandalized with vulgar graffiti, namely the bronze statue of his own likeness in town square.
It's an expensive statue, made mostly of gold.
Renault has assured us that the man in white has sent his emissaries, the men in black, to search for the whereabouts of these absinthe-abusing ruffians, and they will be punished to the fullest extent. Curfew starts today, so if you're out celebrating Dark Saints Eve week, please do enjoy libations, but plan accordingly.
Yes, be safe, people.
While taking questions, Renault also addressed the rumor that nightmares are back and attacking Portalville residents. The magistrate said, "Although we have not investigated and have no evidence to the contrary, this is a preposterous rumor and nothing more. Portalville has had no nightmare attacks for over 50 years, and since I want to be re-elected, please lay these silly stories to rest." On the far side of the island, 2 fishermen attempted to breach the sea barrier in a homemade dinghy. They were immediately eaten by a kraken of considerable proportions. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their loved ones, who will be banished from the community post-haste. Belongings are to be divvied up at a future date, so please, no phone calls for the first dibs.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Meanwhile, crazy Dr. Winthrop needs spare parts for some new damn machine thingy she's making. Per usual, she says it's very important, and would appreciate it if you would drop off unneeded metals, piping, and spare wires, but, and I quote, "not just any old junk, as I'm not the garbage dump lady." Well, I hope this contraption works out better than her glycerin-powered air balloon, although only 3 people died that time.
Well, you know, her accidental kill numbers are decreasing, so let's be thankful for that.
True. The migration season swiftly approaches. Traffic authorities would like to ask steam vehicle drivers to please be courteous of roaming, recently animated corpses. If you hit one of these mangled pus bags, even one of your own kin, please push them off the road, out of the way, and into a ditch. Using a large broom handle or stick to roll them aside also works wonders.
Yes, I do the broomstick method. It does work. Everyone, please just be courteous for your fellow drivers.
I, for one, loathe the undead,
Disgusting.
And I would much rather hit a zombie with my car than have to engage with one. They're like personified flatulence with a hunger for brains. Undead trash breaths absolutely infuriate me, constantly stamping down my petunia garden all spring. Well, I could go on all day about the undead roaming Portalville, but I will save it for a future episode.
They're just completely unsanitary as well. I'd like to mention that.
It's a good mention.
Not to mention the noxious cloud of gas that follows them all over the island. Okay.
Many of the older men on the island have been hearing entrancing, sexy siren calls emanating from the sea. Our leading scientific experts looked into this phenomenon and believe this throbbing, rhythmical humming is not from beautiful topless mermaids, but in fact, the sea itself. Please do not fall for the sea's trap, and above all, do not swim out past the buoys. Last but not least, for news this morning, I don't know what time it is.
It's morning. You're drinking already.
Old man McGillicuddy was taking his daily drunken stroll on the West Beach, where he claims to have found some sort of small, unidentified metallic object. He says, and I quote, "It dropped from that portal faster than a widow's panties when I come calling." Apparently, the men in black confiscated the object. When I asked the precinct for comment, they said it was certainly just McGillicuddy's drunk hallucination and to drop it. Also, not to follow up on this story, as they aren't hiding anything from us. On to weather.
Sorry. So, you said that I could do the weather this time? It would mean a lot to me. This could be my shot.
You can do it.
Guy Redshirt here with the weather. Our weather forecast for today is dark as usual. It's always dark here, so expect a deep, rich twilight throughout most of the day, accompanied by an easterly sea breeze, which may extend into the weekend's festivities. Now please beware of acid salt particles in the air during this time, and do not forget to wear your gas masks. And that is the weather. You're welcome.
Should I clap for you, or?
Thank you.
Oh yes, before I forget, Coastal Patrol would also appreciate it if citizens would stop feeding the flocks of vampire bats. This only increases their dependence on humans for blood. It really throws off the whole food chain of beasties. Not to mention the beach gets riddled with piles of guano.
And it is just a wretched experience stepping through the beach in your flip-flops, and there's piles of guano everywhere.
It's probably unsanitary as well.
Oh, very, yes.
Now, the whole island has been buzzing with anticipation for the Dark Saints Eve Festival this weekend. This year is very special, as it will mark the 100th anniversary of Bailey Island being warped into this hellish, horrific shithole of a dimension. And while many of you lament all the advances and strides that Earth citizens have surely made while we've been gone, peace on Earth, an end to warring, racial equality for all, most likely the eradication of world hunger.
And you know, just deep in my soul, I believe with all my heart that things are great back in that Earth dimension. I just feel it.
Yes, those things are all dandy, but we actually do have things to be thankful for here in Portalville, like the list of featured festival activities that have been released by Town Council. I'd like to present the notable ones now. There will be a carousel created by Dr. Winthrop, who guarantees no patrons will be decapitated this year. Ooh. And also there are plans for a new small Ferris wheel, which comes with the same guarantee. Also, a talent contest will be held in the main atrium, with first and second prizes of knowing you are good at something. A kissing booth for donations headed by the saintly Anastasia Pembrose. My news. I will be first in line.
Oh. What was
All
that?
donations go toward parents in the Pembrose Charity for Possessed Toddlers program. And adjacent to the children's play area for the second year, there will be a zombie gladiator fight. I just hope this time it works out better, as the zombies wandered aimlessly in circles, gurgling and clomping around instead of battling.
I lost a lot of money on that fight.
Lastly,
I know others are in the same boat on that one.
where you even get all your money?
I don't remember.
Lastly, the town council is sponsoring Team Skull Bowling at Jensen's Pub. Please note this event fills up every Dark Saint Eve, so you do well to get your team registered ahead of time. Also, please do not forget to initial your skulls, people.
Yes, this is my favorite event. Let's get hammered and roll severed heads at stuff. Woo! Oh, really sorry about that, August. Did not mean to spill your wine. It seems to be all over your very lovely white dress. I'm gonna go get her. I'll get her ready to clean that up. Hold on a second.
Guy,
I'll be back.
Guy, would you do me a big favor and go to the basement?
Right now? Are the rags down there?
You know, I'm pretty sure I heard something down there.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Please, for me. What if it's a nasty, mean old monster? Who will protect me?
Wow. Your cleavage is pushed up so very high right now. Why, yes, my lady. I will go and check that everything is safe.
Oh my, you're so strong.
My damsel. One moment, I will be back.
Good. Back to the show. Again, this is hands down my favorite time of year. Last year's lycanthrope race was a massive adrenaline rush. Even more so when it got out of hand. I for one decided to head home once the vicious lichens made it into the spectator stands. Now, I'd like to cover some of the supernatural phenomenon that can all expect to experience during the celebration week. The Portalville Safety Commission has issued a short list of precautions for citizens to be aware of. This warm time of year, we experience an increase in vampiric attacks and infestations, among other things. The PSC urges island folk to try walking with a companion if you must travel, no matter the time of day. It would certainly be wise to carry garlic charms and or sharpened stakes to repel aggressive vamps, and most importantly, keep your outdoor trash receptacles closed, preferably locked, as vampires love to scavenge through leftovers in loosely covered bins. Violators of the garbage bin policy will be fined $50 portal tokens. In my own opinion, it's the smell that attracts them. Vampires are ever so difficult to get rid of, and once they've had a taste of trash, they can't learn to find food for themselves. As a matter of fact, I had to call an exterminator last year at my own cottage. PSC also would like you to be courteous of another menace on the island this season, the nasty little fairies. Although the screech owls will thin out their numbers eventually, right now there's an alarming infestation on the inland. The Portalville Safety Commission would like to thank every citizen for doing their part in slaughtering the fairy hives to their best abilities. However, the PSC would like to point out that Gregory Davies' bionic arm is a warning to stay away from Dr. Winthrop's fairy bombs. Fastest and easiest doesn't always mean best for your appendages. Indeed, I always carry a machete in the back of my velocipede just in case those fairy vermin try to pick my pockets. As you know, regular bug sprays just have no effect on the little fuckers.
Mayday! Mayday! Navigation equipment! Broken! Lost!
Hello? Odd. Sorry, dear listeners, sometimes we get peculiar interference or electro reverbs. Well, let's take this opportunity to hear a word from our next sponsor. The Portalville Apothecary is your home for premier potions and elixirs. We currently have a buy one get one sale on consumable spells. Tame that wild beastie of a man or stunning damsel with our popular concoction, Infatua. One look at you and they'll be smitten. Hurry in while supplies last. Now back to the show. Before I sign off, I'd like to pay tribute to our fallen islanders, the ones who were taken during the Great Rift event 100 years ago. This festival week has become quite over-commercialized, and it is easy to forget that this holiday also serves as a devilish reminder that life is so very fleeting. In particular, this 100th anniversary causes me to feel quite poetic, and I'm reminded of something my mom said once. Although she was in a putrid state of decaying zombification at the time, what I think she would have wanted those last words to be was her favorite quote. Dost thou love life? Then do not squander time, for tomorrow you could be devoured alive by man-eating rabid beasts. Sir Benjamin Franklin.
Help! Is anyone out there?
What was that? Hello?
SOS! I repeat, SOS!
Apologies again, folks. This blasted audio contraption, I think we're picking up weird bounce back from your receivers. I'll have Dr. Winthrop make some adjustments so next show goes more smoothly. Speaking of, my dear assistant Guy has not returned from the basement. My giant man-eating plant has assuredly devoured the poor man entirely. I may have forgotten it was down there, and yet maybe not. It seems Dr. Winthrop will need to clone him for me yet again. Guy is quite nice to look at. Very easy honey eyes, but no brains behind his pretty face. Maybe she can add some in this time. On my next episode, I will have a special guest, monster hunter and semi-popular author, Professor Weiss von Aldinger. He will be discussing his new book, The Gentleman's Field Guide to Battling All Manner of Loathsome Undead. Why do I have
an ominous feeling like something bad may happen after this pilot episode?
Until next time, try to have a wonderful twilight. Put in the comments your most effective method of dispatching pesky little fairy hives.